Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Restored Motion, restoredmotions.com. And ProCharge, ProChargeEV.com. Okay, folks. LSU back on the practice field today. Tigers had the day off yesterday while the Saints worked out. Both teams back on the practice field today. Saints gearing up for their first preseason game of the season. Only preseason home game coming up on Sunday, noon, NFL Network. Excited about that. They'll play the Chefs. That's great, man. But who are the Chefs? Great googly moogly. So Kansas City will be in in New Orleans on Sunday. And then, of course, then they'll steamroll toward week 2 of the preseason. So we'll say some good mornings here. We do have about 2 hours worth of media access today at LSU football. Maybe more like an hour and a half, but we'll get to see a lot. And then we'll meet Mike Denbrock after practice today. So looking forward to that, get to talk to the LSU OC. So if there's anything specific y'all want to know, let me know. I'm going to move my position in the media room today. It's I sat in the front row on Tuesday when we talked to Brian Kelly, and I only got the microphone once. So they have two. So they have like two communications interns, right? Like student workers that have the microphone, right? So they're runners basically. So whenever someone has a question, they bring them the mic, and so you kind of quietly flag them down, let them know you have a question, and so then they go in order that people alert. Well, there's two. There's one in the front and one in the back because there's a camera well in the back, or camera row in the back. So where all the TV guys and gals are in the back, shooting their shots. Well, if they have questions, there's someone up top. Well, there's far more of everyone else trying to get one mic than the camera guy. So I'm just going to hang in the back. But that's why Cobble got 4 questions. I'm going to send my Cobble. Make sure I get more questions today for Denbrock. Anyway, all right. We'll say some good morning, see what y'all got. Kelly Gross, good morning. Craig Duga, basketball school. No, Craig, no. However, I do believe LSU did win all 3 games of its Bohemian tour. LSU was playing in the Bahamas, or maybe it's today, day 3. Was yesterday, day 3? Let's see. Okay, that was the second one. Was yesterday, 120-59. So they won 86-82 in the first one, had to rally. Second game, they won 120-59 over the Bahamas club team, and then we'll see what they do in game 3. So they need it. Charlie Cavell, Ben Boudreaux, good morning from me and my son Bo. Just wait on the bus. All right, Ben. Well, good morning, Ben, and good morning, Bo. Have a great day at school today. Pay attention to your teachers, behave in class, participate, all that sort of stuff. Hope it's a great day for you and a great school year. Greg Digga. Madman McMahon running wild. Crazy, bro. Charlie Cavell, do you think the National College Football pundits are slighting Jaden Daniels? He's never mentioned on the top tier quarterbacks. No, I don't think that at all. He's got the second best Heisman odds, and Chris Doering did his list of the best quarterbacks in the SEC on the SEC Network. He had Jaden Daniels number 1. I understand why he's not in the same conversation as Caleb Williams, who won the Heisman, Drake May, who might be the first or second overall pick of the draft, Michael Penix, who led the nation in passing last year. I get it. I get why those guys are up there. They're a little, more skins on the wall. Jaden had a nice season last year, but he threw for 2,900 yards and ran for another 800. It's a very nice season, but it's not Michael Penix leading the nation in passing or Caleb Williams winning the Heisman. So I get why there's that tier, but can he be in that tier this year? I think so, yes. All right, Devin Johnson, good morning. Big day potential for the Tigers. Have a good one. Yeah, so we'll find out today. A couple of big-time commits are going to announce their big-time recruits are going to announce their commitment. Colin Simmons, the number one edge. I think from all indications, it's supposed to be Texas. And then Caden Durham, the running back, supposed to pick LSU. So we'll see how it goes today. But yeah, it could be I think in Colin Simmons, I think he's set to announce at 2 o'clock Central. So we'll know when we go on air on AFR what his decision is. Normal Guy, good morning. Damon Gilmore, Perkins for Heisman. Happy Football Thursday, first full weekend of football. Yeah, man, got some preseason action. Excited for it. Jeff Hawk, good morning. Hope you're doing awesome, my dude. Wendell Norman, good morning. Brian Penton, good morning from Stockton, Illinois, headed to San Antonio. Do you think Simmons and Durham will pick LSU? No, Simmons sounds like it's Texas, Durham, LSU is what it sounds like. Weston Weaver, morning, Matt. Got an extra spot for you in our fantasy league if you want to join. LOL. You know me well, Weston. I've never played fantasy football. Don't intend to start now. Leslie Martin, good morning. Juan, good morning. What are your thoughts about ESPN bets and Barstool becoming free? Explain what you mean about Barstool becoming free. Is Barstool paid content? I thought Barstool was free content. I didn't know that. Or you mean just Barstool being freed from Penn Gaming, if that's what you mean. So, yeah, for those that missed it, so 3 years ago, Penn Gaming bought Barstool. And I know they thought they were going to have a much bigger return on their sports betting app. That didn't happen. I'll tell you why it didn't happen. Penn spent nothing on advertising. So, I mean, I'll fill y'all in on this. I don't mind. I'm transparent if nothing else. So, and I know a whole lot about this because, I mean, we were right in the middle of it. So, whenever a new state goes live with mobile betting, and you all saw this, by the way, or heard it on radio, podcasts, saw it on TV. The major players just flood the market with money, with ad dollars. Flood the market. I mean, how many times did you see the "We are all Caesars" commercial 2 years ago? Of course, we did our deal with DraftKings. I think Hunt had FanDuel. Interestingly, Caesars or MGM, MGM and Caesars kind of took a different tact with the way they went mass scale influence, like MGM went with Jamie Foxx, if you remember. But point is, and they all told us, like we had these conversations, like, look, you're about to get a lot of money. And I mean, our rate, I mean, like DraftKings came in and bought 2 live reads per show at a premium. Like they were paying more than everybody else and bought 2 live reads per show on my show. And they told like, look, don't change your lifestyle because of this, because this ain't gonna last. This is gonna go for about a year. And then after they flood the market for a year, they scale back dramatically and find where their footholds are going to be, where they continue to advertise. Now, because we do sports, they continue advertising with us. DraftKings has, but it's not at the rate that it was prior. Meaning like they're not doing 2 lives a day anymore. All that to say, when all that money flooded into the market, Penn, vis-a-vis Barstool Sportsbook, spent $0. Zero. Their whole objective was they were going to do grassroots, like guerrilla warfare. That's why a guy like Ben Mintz was valuable, because they just ran mints all over the place trying to get people to sign up for the Barstool app, going all these different Download the Barstool Sports. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff. My point is they got crushed. Like that was an arms race to get people to onboard your app and start using it. And while all the big players just carpet bombed everything, they were out there like in hand-to-hand combat, and it's not effective. It's like all the big dudes, they were cutting down trees with chainsaws, and Barstool was trying to cut down trees with a kitchen knife. It's like you can't keep up. So I'm not surprised at all. There's a long way of answering your question, Juan, but I'm not surprised at all that the Penn Barstool thing fell apart, and ESPN will be a much greater leverage piece for Penn and ESPN bets. My question is, does ESPN change? ESPN already does betting shows, right? But to this point, they haven't had skin in the game as far as a sports book and having a partner that's operating a sports book. So there's a very real question about journalistic integrity and what may come of it and all that sort of stuff. It's a very real question and concern for many, and I understand it. That was probably way longer of an answer for that than anybody really wanted, but just figured I'd share. Randall Alfred, Matt, do you think the lack of great running backs is due to kids playing other positions because running backs aren't getting paid like other positions? I don't know about that, Randall. I think Nick Chubb's a pretty great running back. I think J.K. Dobbins is a great running back. I think there's plenty of. I think Jonathan Taylor's a great running back. Christian McCaffrey's a great running back. Kamara, when he was healthy, is a great running back. Saquon. I think there's great running backs. So, morning, Matt. Now, I think the interesting thing. Who's asked that, Randall? The interesting thing, Randall, is do kids today who might be talented running backs say, I'm going to go play linebacker instead. And so in 10 years from now, do you have sort of a dearth at that position? Maybe. Matt Plavidal, good morning. All right, got the next 2 days off. There you go, dude. Awesome. Heard Montgomery to 8 a.m. Yes. So Braden Montgomery, the number one transfer in the country for baseball from Stanford, picked A&M yesterday, kid from Mississippi. It was always thought to be a Mississippi State LSU battle. He's from Mississippi. Some of the guys he played in high school with are his best friends on the Mississippi State team. So, but it's thought to be LSU Mississippi State, but it ends up picking A&M. So, it's a big get for Nolan Cain and Jim Schlossnagle in that group. Irfan Sayad, good morning. Christian, top of the morning. Haven't heard much about Shelton Sampson on the practice field. How's he been doing in camp? Shelton's been doing great. I think Shelton's put on good weight, and all the receivers are popping off. He's, when you look sort of at how the rotation's going, when Brian Thomas is out there, I would say you've got Neighbors, Lacey, Thomas as your first three. Chris Hilton is sort of that next man up. Aaron Anderson is playing a pretty vital role, in a lot of different positions, that sort of Swiss Army knife type role. And then after that, I would say you've got that crew that has the freshmen in it. And you're seeing a lot of those guys play. Kai Prion, Shelton Sampson, Jaylen Brown, and then why do I always forget the kid out of Texas? Why can I not remember this kid's name? It's like it's a mental block in my head right now. I just cannot pull this kid's name. It's starting to annoy me. Kyle Parker. Why can I not remember? It's the easiest name, though. Kyle Parker, and I cannot remember it for the life of me. Let's see, you're having Shay on AFR since it's commitment day. Yeah, I'm sure we will. If we'll have Shay or Billy or one of the recruiting guys to react to whatever the decisions are today. Bailey C, I don't think they can win a Super Bowl with Carr, but even with peak Peyton Manning, you still have DA as a head coach. Great quarterbacks can overcome coaching, though. at all levels of football. Tiger Diver, good morning from the DFW. Okay, does LSU go 2 for 2 today? I don't believe so. Sounds like Colin Simmons is going to Texas and LSU's getting the running back. But I don't know. I don't know. Ronnie Dugas, good morning. Scott Fontenot, thanks for all the info and insight you give us. You're the man, Matt. Hashtag Team Drew. Thank you, Scott. Very kind of you, man. Thanks for watching. Y'all smash that like button if you would. That would be great if you do that. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook. Please like the page, share the post. There goes the school bus. Kiddos are back in school, man. Oh, by the way, Drew is back at school today at St. Lily. So they have like a staggered entry. So he goes today, but not tomorrow. Then Monday is the first day for everybody. But Drew goes in today. So I have about 10 more minutes. I got to bounce to get him up and get him ready to get out. Stewart, why wouldn't Simmons pick LSU? I don't know. I mean, there's... So why wouldn't Simmons pick LSU? He's from Texas. Maybe he's always wanted to play. Put the shoe on the other foot. Like, if you're from Texas or somewhere, or Georgia, and you're recruiting Dominic McKinley or wherever he's, like, why wouldn't he pick Georgia? Well, from an LSU perspective, he's from Louisiana. I'm going to play here. You've won championships, like all this sort of thing. I mean, who knows? There's a million reasons why any kid could pick a school. You just never, like, we don't think of it in terms of, it's an 18-year-old kid making a life decision and has criteria. Like, maybe he wants to be where his friends are. Maybe he wants to be close to home. Maybe he grew up always wanting to play for Texas. Maybe they're giving him a better NIL opportunity. I don't know. Anyway. I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying, Stuart, but, like, when you're a top-tier athlete like that and you could go anywhere, there's no bad choice. Georgia's not a bad choice. Bama's not a bad choice. LSU, Texas, like, none of them are bad choices. You just pick the one that feels best for you for whatever the things are you're looking for. That's why I never get upset, like, when they don't get a recruit. Like, there's nothing you can do. You can't make somebody pick your school. It ain't a draft. It's like you just do the best you can recruiting them and hope they say yes. Trivia Carter, Guy Brooks, Robert Potts, good morning. Will Nolan Kane ever return to LSU staff? Well, I know, look, Nolan has applied for head coaching jobs already. His next job won't obviously be head coach at LSU, but I think Nolan will get a shot to be a head coach. And what you're seeing more interestingly is guys are getting, like, major head coaching opportunities after being assistants at major programs instead of head coaches at smaller programs. For example, Wes Johnson just got the Georgia job. Meanwhile, a guy like Justin Hill, who's done a really good job at McNeese, hasn't gotten sort of that advancement, right? Joey Vincent, Deborah Cowart, Tiger Diver, how do you think A&M closing their collective will affect their football recruiting? Yeah, so I actually wanted to talk about that yesterday in AFR. So they're not shutting down their collective. So a lot of this is, we talked about this several months back. So the federal government determined that collectives operating as 501c3s could no longer operate as 501c3s. So a lot of the collectives had set up as a 501c3 for charitable giving, so that when people made a donation, they could get a tax deduction. Well, the government looked and they were like, this isn't charitable. Like, you're literally just trying to raise money to give it to kids who play sports. So they started denying and then retracting 501c3 status from some of these collectives. So that's why they're shutting down. So it's just a different, it's just, they're going to have to go a different mode. That's why LSU did not set up Bayou Traditions as a 501c3, because this was going to happen. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Tim Gotro, Antron Hemingway, good morning. Saying good morning to you and the fam. If Brian Kelly's wanted to know if Brian Kelly's going to do a press conference after practice. No, not today. So today is Mike Denbrock. So, yeah, thanks for the question. So, practice today. We get our access around 10 a.m. They'll let us in. Mike Denbrock's scheduled to speak around noon. We'll see how long they go. But yeah, so practice and then Mike Denbrock today. All right. Trivia. Just dropped my daughter Olivia off at school. All right, trivia. Hope Olivia has a great first day. Was it... how old is Olivia? I'm curious. So is it easy? Like, is it just old hat now to where you're just like, yeah, first day. She's not even looking back at the car when she hops out. So, bye, Dad. See ya. She's gone. Randall, my hope is Mickey Loomis doesn't let John Gruden out of the building. Gruden is Super Bowl winning coach, hungry to stick it to Roger Goodell in Tampa twice a year. Look, I mean, the certain appeal of Goodell is that Derek Carr's most productive years, of Gruden, is that Derek Carr's most productive years in the NFL were with John Gruden. So if there's some type of magic unlock that Gruden has for Derek Carr, great. But I also understand all the reasons why Gruden is and has been perceived or otherwise to be untouchable. So whatever decision they make, I mean, I certainly believe in second chances, and I can understand nuance matters and circumstance matters. I could also understand if there's a team that's like, yeah, we're never touching you. Sorry. So, all right. 7 years old in the second grade, didn't miss a beat. That's awesome. Awesome. Barry Joslin, good morning. Love the content. What's your prediction and score for the Florida State opener? Ask me closer to the opener, Barry. I'm not ready to do a score yet. The weird thing is, like, based on what I've seen, I could totally see that game. I could see LSU winning 38-10. I could see Florida State winning 27-24. I could see LSU winning 31-30. I mean, I could see it playing out a lot of different ways. You have veteran teams with veteran quarterbacks that are well coached at a neutral site. Ask me closer to the game. Sterling DeVille, how are the new AC helmets working? I want to ask. Next time we get player availability, I'll ask. But it is hot out there. Everybody knows it's hot out there. But it's elements are challenging. Bubba Tatum, good morning. All my watching and listening to 104.5 paid off yesterday. I won the giveaway for the Dave Chappelle show. All right, Bubba, that's awesome, man. Congrats, dude. I'm trying to get to that. I told Erica I want to go. So I'd love to go see Dave Chappelle. Oh, yeah, thank you, Barry.
Smash that like button.
Listen that you rock. Smash that like button. Reed Rule, good morning. Joe Parker, how long before school starts in July? Yeah, it does feel like they're starting earlier and earlier. What are we, August 10th today? Yeah, I seem to remember we started late August. I don't know, I guess I'm used to it now with, this is year 20 for Erica at St. Jude, so I guess she's just been getting up and going to school, for as long as we've been together. So, Jeff McKith and Bubba Smith. Hey, Dad. Good morning. Oh wow, I'm behind on Facebook. My apologies, y'all. Craig Duga. How about the Elijah Craig Toasted Bear Riley? Yep. Oh, in North Louisiana. Okay. All right. Shanks and Bombergers. Okay. Correct. Just disclosure. I think people may assume, but Taylor does not hold bottles for me at Calandro's. Like, if there's something I'm hunting, I could call him and say, hey, do me a favor, and please, if you could be on the lookout, if you have an opportunity to get something like that. But like, if there's something shelved or something they're selling, I remember last year they got their Four Roses pick and they released it like at noon, and there was a big long line at the store, and I was on air, or 3 o'clock, whatever it was. I was on air when it happened, so I didn't get a bottle. They're fair with it. Taylor, Houston, Kale, good morning. Hunter Eilers, good morning. If you had to guess which game could be the 3:30 CBS game, For LSU, well, I know CBS wants to be in Baton Rouge every year, at least once. So, I mean, you just look at Auburn, Florida A&M are the most likely options. I need to look at the rest, at like the composite schedule. See if I can do that real quick. Let's see. All right, here we go. LSU plays Auburn on October 14th. Let's see what else. Bama, Arkansas, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Vanderbilt, A&M, Tennessee. So that's what it'll come down to, I think. By October 14th, how are A&M and Tennessee looking, and then how are LSU and Auburn looking? So I think that's a possibility. The LSU Florida game, same day as Auburn, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Georgia. Yeah, I mean, you're probably looking at the Auburn game as the most likely. All right, any more? Let's see, I gotta get going. Jerry DeLucky, what's up, man? Hunter Eilers, Jim Arsenault, Michael Cook, Jason Horn, good morning. Went back and checked on the shoes Jordan gave you. Those are sweet. Gordon gave, the Jordans that Gordon gave you, yes. They're phenomenal. Jerry, for us old folks, school started after Labor Day and ended Memorial Day. Wow. Okay, so you went later too. You went to Memorial Day. Craig Digga, I just got a Four Roses pick and the 2022 LE. Craig, do you want to part with the LE? The Four Roses Limited is my just my favorite. So I've got the 17 and the 2017 and the 2020. But I've had all of them. Avenue Pub down in NOLA was able to do a flight of like 8 years worth. Okay, I gotta go. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much for being here. Please smash the like button. Shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Quick reminder, on your favorite podcast app, please search for Brock Ortho Talk and subscribe. New podcast that I'm doing with the Brock docs. Worked very hard on it. There is video as well. I guess they're putting that on YouTube, maybe their Facebook page. But if you want the podcast form, you can get it. Brock Ortho Talk, however you get your podcast. And Hudco Roofing would love to give you a free no obligation roofing inspection. So, got issues with your roof or think you might? Let us help you out. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, y'all, have an awesome day. We'll see you. Peace.